Hey everyone, Patrick here, aka Clown, and today I have another video. This video will go over all the stats that are available in Rose Online. It's an exclusive video. I don't think anyone has made it yet, because Rednim has changed some stuff. So it's all different from Evo. It's different even from iRose. It's different from all the types of Rose. So if you're interested, keep watching. I will show every single stat, go over the menu, go over what has changed per thing, and also go over some builds. Let's hop into the video. So as you can see on the screen right now, this is the UI. It's a very basic UI. It's the same as you're probably used to. You got your strength, dexterity, intelligence, con, charm, and sense. So those are the main stats in Rose Online. These stats give you certain benefits that I will go over with each stat. The max stat you can get is 425, so I can get strength to 425, but you usually don't want to put full points on there because it's diminishing returns. You get your stat points from leveling up, but it costs more to upgrade more stats. So me going from 400 to 401 will be the same amount of stat points you get for, let's say, going from 50 to 75. So that's 25 stat points and you don't get anything more from it. So definitely noteworthy to realize. Probably not the best to put everything in one stat unless you're going for a max stat character for crafting or buffing and that kind of stuff. But yeah, here's your first look. And as you can see, I won't be able to show you what the difference will make if I increase every stat point. So if I increase strength, what it will do to attack, etc. But I will just go over the general benefits. So first up is strength. As you can see, strength increases maximum HP, HP recovery rate, defense, max carry weight, and soldier buff power. What's good to know is that the main stats of certain classes, which strength is of course for a soldier, will increase their buff power, which is not necessarily new, but it has a bigger effect now, so that's good to know. It will also increase attack power for one-handed weapons, two-handed swords, spears, axes, launchers, magic staves, guitars, dual swords, and crossbows. So strength is useful for a lot of classes, especially those soldier classes, so knights and also champions. But even for Borgs, or even basically every class can benefit from it because you will get that maximum HP and def up. So strength is always good to have in your build. So next up is dexterity. It increases your dodge rate and increases your Hulker buff power. So buff power for your raiders and your scouts. It also increases attack power for one-handed weapons, two-handed swords, spears, axes, bow, guns, magic wands, guitars, dual swords, and crossbow. So as you can see, it overlaps a bit with increased attack power like strength does, but this one gives more to certain amount of weapons. So that's good to note. Dexterity can be built on basically any character. I would mainly recommend doing it for Hulkers, so mainly doing it for your raiders and your scouts. But you can also use a Dex Cleric, which is a Battle Cleric type. I will be making a video on that, of course. But Dexterity is a really good way to build up your dodge rate, and especially handy for those Hulker builds. Further than that, there's not much to say so let's just move on to the next one. Next one's going to be Intelligence. Yeah, that's right. Intelligence is that stat for your muses. It's your stat for those clerics and your stats for the mage. It increases mana points, MP recovery rate, magic defense, so that might be good for some knights. It increases your muse buff powers, so definitely handy for clerics. It increases attack power for your magic staffs and magic wands. So I would say intelligence is definitely something more focused on just your clerics and your mages. It doesn't do much for other classes besides getting some maximum MP, but usually you won't run out MP in the, most of the scenarios because you will be using some pots, etc. So definitely something more for clerics as they use more MP with their skills. Magic defense, that's handy for your knights, like I said, and the buff power. So before, another stat, which we'll explain soon, would mostly increase the buff power, but intelligence now does as well for your clerics. So that's good to know. It does not, however, increase your heals. So you have to find a balance between intelligence and charm, which is a skill I'll be talking about soon. Increase attack power for the staff and the wand. I would say it's more important for your wands than your staff. And it's just skill power as well. It's really handy for that. So yes, another good skill, and this one is for your clerics and your mages. So let's move on to the next skill, which is concentration. Concentration is your dealer skill, I would say, or your dealer stat. It increases your accuracy, your crafting success rate, chance of crafting higher durability items. So durability, I will go over items soon. Also your dealer buff power. So again, this is for the buffing. It increases attack power for your bow, your gun, and your launcher. This, I would say, is one of the most important skills in Rose. Everyone needs accuracy. If you don't have any accuracy and you're going against like a raider in PvP or a mob with a high dodge rate, you won't hit anything. So that's why you want some concentration in there. It's definitely important for almost all builds. So be on the lookout for that, especially handy for your scouts. You know, that's as you see, because it increases attack power for your bow as well, and also your gun and launcher, for your Borg, and even for your artisan. Definitely useful. You get a buff as well that even increases your concentration a bit. But durability items in late game, you want the highest durability as you can get, which is 100. So concentration is always good to get, and I can't mention this enough. Accuracy is necessary in every build, or almost every build. So concentration is something you will be looking at in the future and be like, hey, why am I not hitting enough, or why am I missing a lot of shots, of skills? Probably because your concentration is too low. So be wary of that. It does increase your accuracy, and accuracy is very important in this game. But that's probably enough about concentration, and let's go to the next skill. And your next skill is pretty controversial, because a lot of people never really knew what charm did in the game. So if you're a returning player, you might be useful for you as well, because charm increases your heal power, it increases your buff power. So clerics, this is your time to shine. Increase the damage over time, so with your burns and poison. Increase critical defense, and increase your quest rewards. I'm not sure how much those quest rewards matter, but some people love those quest rewards, and you'll be looking at your XP and the Zuli you're getting from those rewards. So that what it will increase. But definitely good to know. Every character will need this in order to increase their buffs, because back in the day you would get only your buffs from clerics, but since the buffs have changed, have split up a bit, everyone needs charm. So you can either get a build that is fully focused on your charm and fully focused on your main stat to get the strongest buffs possible, but your character won't be able to do anything else besides buffing people. So that might not be useful. So if you're more of a solo player and you're looking for a balanced build but also want some increased buffs, charm is definitely something good to look at. But for your clerics, this is your skill, since healing power is very important in the game now. As I always thought it was pretty overlooked, because you had that pay to win instant jelly beans that you could eat, which you would just heal up all the time, and now it's out of the game. So clerics have become more important in warring, so that heal power is important, buff power is important. Damage over time, I've never really played with it. I never really had the burns. I definitely think it's something interesting to look at in the future for those interesting builds. So let's go to the last stat. And this stat is sense. I will always say sensibility, but it's just sense. It increases your critical rate, increases attack power slightly, and increases chance of crafting items with additional stats. So sense is another something that I would say is pretty good on most builds, because the increased critical rate, critical damage is a lot of damage compared to normal attack power, and can even apply to your skills. So I would say sense is also almost necessary in every build, just like concentration. The attack power, it's not much of a change. I would say critical rate is probably the most important thing. But I also think that increased chance of crafting items with additional stats is pretty good, because it can make you the most powerful crafter in game. So, you know, that crafting, it's pretty OP. You can get the best items in game, basically, that's craftable, I would say, by having the highest sense in the game as well. So if you're looking for the best crafter, I will always recommend going for the highest sense if you're crafting items with substats, that is. Because, you know, best items in game means you can get a lot of Zuli for it, so that's good to know. And that was basically it for me, guys. I showed you all the stats. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, just please let me know. Just comment down below, or you can message me on Discord. You've probably seen me on the Rose Online Discord by now. A special shout out to Gnoski, who made those visuals, Drezinit, who made these those videos, I would say, those recordings, and also he helped with the visuals, and Christ Angelo, who helped both of them as well. A special shout out to them, because without them we couldn't see those stats before the early access. And I hope this video helps you with the early access launch, and hopefully we'll be able to make the best builds possible. I didn't mention though, stats resets are free now. So for now in early access, you can just tinker around with those builds. Go back, look at this video, see, okay, this stat does this does that. What is it actually good for? What does he recommend? But yeah, just try it out on your own, and hopefully I will see you in game with the most powerful builds possible. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you like my videos and you want to see more. Let me know down in the comments what video you want next. Hopefully I see you soon in game. Alright, see ya!